So as we go into a little bit in verses 3 through the rest of the chapter, actually we're going to see, and what's the sign of your coming and of the end of the age? Well, obviously the sign of his coming would be Titus coming in with his armies and coming in to destroy Jerusalem. And the end of the age is the end of the Jewish age, when their sacrificial system would be complete, which was in the midst of the week, as it says in Daniel, that happened actually during the time of the siege of Jerusalem by Titus. There was no priest to go off and go and offer the sacrifice at that time. So those things actually did take place. That's why I believe that Yeshua fulfilled everything. And Jesus answered and said to them, "Take heed that no one deceives you." So he's still talking to his disciples, and we're going to go on a little bit. Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be famines, pestilence, and earthquakes in various places. All of these, the beginning of sorrows. And it says they will deliver you up to tribulations and to kill you, and you will be hated by all nations because of my name. Well, that was true. That's exactly what happened to the disciples. Every one of them except for John was killed. John was sent into exile, and that's where we get the book of Revelation from. And it says, "In this gospel of the kingdom will be preached," verse 14, "and all the world is a witness to all nations, and then the end will come." Well, actually, that was fulfilled in Colossians. So we're going to go to the book of Colossians real quick, and we're going to go see something, how it was fulfilled, and that there is absolutely no reason to believe that it wasn't fulfilled, because he says that this truth will go out to all the nations, and then the end will come. So have we seen the end? Did they see the end? Was anybody there to see the end? Well, I have to tell you the truth. Yeah, they did. They did see the end of all things. And the end of all things was at the time when they came and destroyed Jerusalem, and that was the end of the Jewish rites. That was the end of the Levites, because Yeshua now has become our high priest. So we go to the book of Colossians chapter 1, and we go to verse 23, and this is Paul talking to the Colossians, and he says, if he's talking about salvation, and you who once were alienated and enemies in your mind by wicked works, yet now he has reconciled in the body of his flesh through death, to present you holy and blameless and above reproach in his sight. If indeed you continue in the faith, grounded and steadfast, and are not moved away from the hope of the gospel which you heard, which was preached to every creature under heaven, of which I, Paul, became a minister. So there's your proof right there, that's showing that all these things were taken care of actually back in the time of the disciples, when they went out through all the world, and the world was actually preached the gospel. Everybody heard it. Every creature under heaven. We're going to go to Luke chapter 13, and we're going to do a little bit of a study, because as is stated, things had to take place before his ascension into heaven, and that's where we're going to get into this time. Luke chapter 13, we'll go and we'll see something that is very interesting, because he's talking about how he's heading towards Jerusalem, getting towards the time where he's about ready to be the sacrificial lamb, and we'll get into that in just a moment.